I'm gonna fix some of Nelson's levels, and this is hard, right? Because Nelson put something into these levels. He wanted them to be cool and stuff, and now I'm gonna go break them. And this is a thing. This is a thing about the creative process. I'll load up a map real quick. One of the problems with the creative process is when you're on a team, other people will come and break your shit. And they're not doing it to be mean, they're doing it because they want to make it better. But the problem is, just like you, sometimes they're wrong. And so they'll like come in and like fix your stuff, and then the thing that's fixed is not as good as the thing that it was when you started. And then you're like, why did you come in and break my shit? And the problem is, like, the guy who came in and fixed it, yeah, he kind of knows it's shit too. But that's a hard thing to admit. Like, hey, Nelson, I came and fucked up your level. Can you put it back? Like, that sucks. But this level legitimately has some issues. Um, and so, what were the issues with this level? So here's the issues. Ben and I were actually playing this level last night. This is a one versus one. This is a 1v1 level, and you can see here's one, here's two, here's the two spots. And to get from here to there, basically you either got to get in the water or you got to walk across this bridge and through this shitty little jungle. Um, wow, the bottleneck. This game gets really slow and painful across that little bottleneck. And we were like, wow, that sucks. I also, let me tell you some other things I don't like about the map. One thing I don't like about it is I don't really have enough spaces to. What I found as we've been playing, having a few more places where you can build stuff is nice because it gives you a couple more strategic options. Also, because the victory points are based on a percentage of the things that can be built in the level. If you don't have very many of those spaces, just taking over like two or three things basically wins the game. So this game last night was like a 15-minute game, and I didn't feel like there was really a lot of way for me to come back because he had taken over a couple things, and then I got 5 turns to take it, and in those 5 turns, I had to drag my ass across this little tiny bottlenecky bridge. That didn't work for me as a good level. So those are some things I want to correct. Another thing I have noticed as we have built levels is, in general, doing this is a bad idea, where you have only one road and that road runs right through the structure building area. What what happens is, let's say I were to build artillery tower there, and now I want to man the artillery tower because I want to have somebody there on the artillery tower shooting shit, right? So now I've got a unit there, and because we can't pass units through other units, this becomes a bottleneck where, because I've got somebody manning the tower, if I wanted to get there, I literally had to drag my dudes through this fucking swamp, and I was like, oh man, that takes forever. And then when I got to the other side of the swamp, it was like, oh, now you drag your ass through this jungle. In the whole game, I never got a unit further than like here. I think I got one unit here once, and the rest of it was all played out right here because I was totally bottlenecked here. Um, so those are some things that I want to correct on Nelson's level. And by the way, Nelson, are you here now? Did we find you, Nelson? Are you alive? Um, I don't know if Nelson's here or not, because I wanna spout out editor notes as I go, because it's time to start fixing shit in the editor. Uh, but I don't know if Nelson's there to hear it or not. Ben, if Nelson doesn't say anything, you get to take notes. All right, so let's start with these two things here. I think what I'm gonna do is doesn't matter what I pick because I'm gonna take. No, wait. I think what I'm gonna do is delete that, put some more swamp in there, delete that, put some more swamp in there for right now. I like this jungle here in the center. Put more jungle there. Here I think we're going to make that a little bit more like that, so it's got a little bit more area to get around there. I think that's a little bit much though. Still not sure about. I agree with Nitride that there needs to be kind of a long way around. because there's really only one way. I generally don't like a map that doesn't have 3 clear ways to go. Now we can open up a relatively clear way to go right here pretty easily. Let's see, we'll put some swamp down there. I'm gonna have to move that dock. I think what I'm gonna do. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna delete all of that and make this kind of a jungly area there. That if you want to be hardcore and traipse through that jungle, you can traipse through that jungle right there. I'm gonna actually not use those hills there. I'm gonna use, what kind of mountains did he use on this? He used these kind of mountains? No, he used those kind of mountains. Let's put some mountainy mountains, not those mountains. Those mountains. Let's put some of these mountains here on the edge of the map. Let's put some more jungle around those mountains. And then let's re-establish. I think instead of having the base here, I think I'm going to put the base up here. Let's see. Not that. This. Let's get a village. That village will do. I think I'm gonna put the other player here instead of there. So now I can kind of go around that way if I'm long hard about it. I can go the straight way right there. And now I'm gonna build a third way around the other way. Let's put a little ford right there. Let's build a little bit more jungle around right there. Let's build a little swamp. Let's see. A little bit more swamp there. A little bit more shallow water there. Let's put a ford right there. So now there's kind of a long way around. Now I got sort of 3 ways that I can go. I think I'm actually gonna make a mysterious 4th way. It goes right there. So now there's a little bit more. Okay, but I can't get there because those mountains are in the way, can I? What I can do is get rid of those fucking mountains. That'll solve that problem. Actually, let's put that more like that. Got a nice big passage like that. So let's see. So right now I got no foundation spots other than the 3 in the center. So those are like the 3 that they can fight over. 2 windmills and a farm, a jungle farm, so to speak, with a big fat centaur in it. I think actually what I'm gonna do is I put a bridge there. So that's actually more interesting. Let's see. There's all of that. All right, Nitride wants a jungle pass. I think that sounds fun. Let's build Nitride a jungle pass real quick. Let's see. I want to use, where are the mountains he's used? These mountains. So let's put, instead of that being there, let's put that there. So now there's a jungle pass. Actually, I feel like that's too constricting. Let's build that there instead. And let's go back here. Doesn't matter what I choose. There we go. Now you've got a nice big fat jungle pass, so you can take your guys through that jungle if you're so inclined. There's so much jungle and swamp. I want a little bit more variety. I think I'm gonna put some hills here somewhere. I think right here, here's some hills that you can put some guys on. By the way, I need to make better looking hills. And some of these hills look a little naff. So now there's some places, and I like putting these hills in because the hills can give me a place to bring my artillery up and get longer range and make some some decisions of that nature. So that's a little bit more interesting and fun. Let's talk roads for a minute. Let's go ahead and drive that road all the way through there. I'm a little bit unhappy with that setup because I want some places to put some settlements, and I feel like I don't have enough settlement locations. Let's see. Let's put a couple settlements down and then I'll work around them. There's a settlement. I think we need one. See, if I put it right there, it's going to be right in the way of my thing. Let's put it right there. So if I got one settlement right next to that guy, let's put one settlement right next to... If I put that there, it's going to make that crossing weird. If I put it there, it's going to make that crossing weird. I don't like putting it right on the edge of the map. Just put it there. I'll go fix all that in a minute. So now they both have one settlement right next to themselves, right? So that's a good place to do stuff. I think we want to put two more that they can get to relatively quickly. There's a place to put one that you can get to relatively quickly. That's one. And then it's two. So that one's got two settlements nearby. And then let's see. Let's put one. I know I've blocked that ford, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. And then let's put two right there. That's an interesting one to guard that bridge. Yeah, the hills, I think I'm going to look into doing some vegetation on hills and stuff like that. There's some work that I need to do. But that falls into the same category as I was talking about the farms. Once I open up that Pandora's box, it's not going to close easily. There's two over there that you can get to. That's actually a pretty reasonable number of... I think I'm going to put... No, I think that's actually maybe enough. Because now you can get to that one pretty easily. Let's go back to terrain and let's fix the terrain that I put in weird places. I'm going to put one of those there to make that kind of different. I'm going to put some more swamp right there to kind of give that some stuff. Put some more shallow water there. Put a little more deep water there. Make that deep water a little bit deeper. There we go. Can you place a structure on a hill? No. Structures actually just become structures. This was a big discussion that we had a long time ago about can a tile have a structure and a terrain type, and does the terrain type affect the structure, and blah blah blah. At this point, no. Once you put a structure down, that structure is all that tile has, because it was too much to think about, oh, I have the advantages of a hill plus the advantages, and it was too much altogether. So now, for instance, that village, if you look at it in the game, it just says village. And so it's not a village and a structure. It's not a village and a tile. It's just a village. And so, no, you can't put things on hills. So that's the long-winded answer to that question. Let's go back to roads for a minute. Put a road that goes there, a road that goes there. That doesn't have a road on it. Road there. You know what? I actually don't even feel like I want that river there. I'm gonna just delete that river and make it something more like that. And so that way, because I feel like it's just a little bottlenecky there. Now you got a little road that goes. You can take a shortcut through the ford. Let's make that more interesting by making that, and then let's put the ford there. So now you've got a shortcut through the ford, or you can go around on the road. Given that, I actually would prefer to have this whatchamacallit. I'm gonna put that over here, and then I'm gonna put a road that goes to it there. That's a little closer to the guy and a little further off that wall, so it's not quite as painful. All right, so where are we at? I got 1, 2, 3 structures. Let's do a little bit of cleanup real quick. Since I put that there, that goes there. Anything else needs cleaning up? That needs that. Um, Put a little bit more water there. Make that a little bit more bottlenecky. More water there. Yeah, all right, that looks pretty cool. I think, why don't we, I don't know why you would ever go over there, but let's just put a ford there in case anyone feels so inclined. They can wander over there into that jungle if they feel like it. If you're feeling jungly, you can walk over in there. And then let's put another ford right there, so there's a little walkaway there. I don't know why you would go over there, but in case anyone was so inclined, they can go do that now. Let's see. I got a road that goes up north and doesn't really go anywhere. I don't really buy into that. This road structure looks weird to me. A secondary path right there. Let's rethink these roads a little bit. Let's have it go like that. And then let's have a road drive like that. All right, cool. That's kind of neat. I'll put a road there. I buy into that road structure a little bit more. All right, so we never actually solved the this goes straight into a big fucking jungle problem. But you know what? I bet I could just put a road there and that'd solve most of that problem. All right, yeah, that, I buy into that. That looks cool. Road that goes there if you want to go there. Over here, I now have roads that go there and there. Okay, that's off-road. That's off-road. So you got 2 that are on-road, 1 that's off-road over there. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of buy into this map now. I think this is going to play better. And then what I usually like to do at the end of building a map is I like to just like eat a little bit of the map with water. Just to make it a little bit smaller. Because I find that I tend to build a lot of land because I'm always building around stuff. So at the end I just kind of go and say like, well, you know, that could be water. It wouldn't hurt anything. That could be water and it wouldn't hurt anything. But you know what? Let's make that jungle. No. I think it was better with the mountains, don't you? Alright, there we go. So now I need to go make that player 2. And you know what? I'm going to make that a walled city. And you, I'm going to give you some walls too. And you've got a dock. Ah, I forgot to add a dock to the other city. Let's see here. Oh wow, it automatically made it a red dock. I wonder why I did that. That's weird. And then Nelson has reminded me to put the new player starting point there. Done. So I've got starting points done. They have a dock in a city. He has a dock in a city. Last question, do I want to put any more neutral units out to prevent players from taking shit? You know what? I want 2 more to slow up the rush at the beginning. I'll put a militia here. Not a militia. Let's make something more interesting than a militia. What have I got? Who would be hanging out, just like hanging out in the jungle? Giant zombie crayfish, maybe? No. How about some otters? They might be hanging out somewhere. Yeah, some otters are hanging out. Why are you making that red? I don't want to be red. You're neutral. And then because you got ottered, you will also get ottered. All right. So what are the rules for a starting point? Right now I don't have there should be a button that I press to put the starting point. But when the game starts, you're always starting with 1 hero, and your hero starts wherever it's declared on the map that the starting point is. If you don't put a starting point down, I think it just picks one of the cities and sticks you in one of the cities. In general, I wonder, so we have gotten in the habit of always starting your unit in the city, but I end up not really wanting my hero to be in the city most of the time because I usually want to put like a forager or someone like that in the city. And I've wondered if it might be better to put the starting point like near the city. But for the moment, I'm going to keep it in the city because it's a sort of standard. But I think we may adjust that later. I'm not entirely happy with that as a decision. All right, so that is my fixes for this map. Hey, guys on stream, I need a name for this map. I can't keep calling it 2Play New Map 001. I need a new name. What can I call this? What's a cool thing? Can a starting point be anywhere? Yeah, actually, you can put the starting point wherever you want. We usually put it in the city, but the editor will let you put the starting point anywhere. So I could actually start you like way down here. I also don't actually have to give you a city when you start. I could make this map where the green city is, this is neutral and that's neutral, and then start one hero like here on top of a building point where they just got to build something and go from there. That's a way that I could build it if I wanted. I could just put the fucking heroes out here in the jungle if I wanted. All that's available. Nelson roasted. I like to give my maps cool names. That are lore based. I need a lore based name for this. So I mean, what is this? I'm trying to figure out. Usually with these maps, I try to figure out like what's going on in this map. What happens if you try to put a starting point in the water? I don't know. I haven't. Chokehold point. I believe Nelson has got himself a name. I believe this is now called Chokehold Point. That's a good name, Nelson. I support that. And then let's save this. I will not save over his old one in case we want to get back to his old one for any reason. This is now 2-player chokehold point. And oh, I didn't put my thing in. I need to put an underscore because it's a. Our text entry sucks. All right. Done. Chokehold point is now a thing.